Namaste, Hare Krishna. Second chapter, Saṅkhya Yoga. Sloka 61. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ vaśe yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. The objects which is being removed from the vision, the desire to enjoy that or those objects still remain in our mind. This is what we saw in the previous slokas. How difficult it is for anyone to get rid of the desire unless and until one sees the Atma, the desire will not vanish. When mind tries to control, the senses pulls. When the senses are under control, the mind pulses. There's a fantastic cooperation between the mind and the senses. The cooperation to pull us down. So how do we deal with such things? So here, Krishna gives a solution, that to develop the consciousness, to help one to work on both mind and senses parallelly. Before we dive into the meanings of this sloka, something has to be understood. In the 59th sloka, it is said, by seeing the Atma, that will help one to control the senses. And we saw, by controlling this next sloka, we saw by controlling the senses, one can see the Atma. At the same time, it's very difficult, even for a great persons who try to work on this program. Why Krishna says this is because the senses are dangerous. They live within us and try to cheat us or bring us down. It's like you have a rental person, you let the house to someone to rent or come and stay in our house for some time. And when this person comes and stays in our house, they start taking over everything and even controlling the house owner. Likewise, the senses are just in our, like a rented. They are in us, in our body. But then what happens is they take over and control us, the Atma. So Krishna is trying to say, pull the ears from the external sounds. Pull your eye off from the external attractive forms. Pull your ears from hearing the material things. Pull your touching senses from external things. Well, just pulling them is not going to help us in any way, because these senses can never be quiet. They want to be engaged all the time. So Krishna is going to tell, just pulling is not enough, but once you pull them, they have to be engaged, directed somewhere else to keep them busy. Therefore, Krishna is going to, in this sloka, saying that vaśe yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. That person can easily control is senses. How that person easily controls senses? Because just now we saw it's very difficult for that anyone to do this. Yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya. Yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ. So here Krishna gives the answer. Focus your mind, bring your senses, everything on my form. Mat-paraḥ, on my form. When you bring your mind and indriyas on me, that will destroy the sin. Once the sins are destroyed, you will be in a mode of goodness. And once you are in mode of goodness, your desires will subside and the senses will come under control. Right now the indriyas are not under control. The reason is because we are in a mixed state. Sattva, rajas and tamas, mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. They fight with each other to take over us. When rajoguna is more, anger and desires increases. When tamoguna is more, sleep, laziness, inattentiveness, those becomes prominent. So how do we get away from this rajoguna and tamoguna? The only way is to make sattva guna as prominent. When we make the sattva guna, work on sattva guna, the rajoguna and tamoguna will go away. The question is, how do we increase the sattva guna? So Krishna is saying, the best way is to focus on sattva guna, the pure of all purest. Well, in the world, nothing is pure. Everything is mixed mode. So everything is mixed by this rajoguna and tamoguna. Nothing can be found as pure where I can focus on. Whether it's a sound or whether it's a form or anything that we can think about. Everything is mixed. But there's one thing which is completely transcendental, pure. And that is mat-paraḥ. Krishna says, my form. Krishna's beautiful form. In his beautiful form, which is sattva, transcendental, beyond the modes, is easily accessible. That's why there are many temples, and in many homes they have the deities and they worship. But we don't see any temple for Atma because no one has seen Atma and it is difficult. So therefore, if we meditate on other forms, they all mixed of the modes. Therefore, our consciousness is also going to be mixed up and we won't be able to become sattva. But when we focus on Krishna's form, which is purest of all pure, there is no mix of any gunas. And that's the only way to get rid of rajoguna and tamoguna. The only option left is to bring the mind and indriyas towards the beautiful form of the Lord. And they will automatically come under control. And if we noticed, in Sanatana Dharma, there are many festivals around the calendar, around the year. So many. It's all related to temple, related to the deity worship, bathing the deity, dressing up the deities, garlanding the deities, offering many articles, archanas. All those things are nothing but simply to somehow or the other attract the mind of people. And when a mind and indriyas are attracted toward the beautiful form of the Lord, then the sattva guna will become prominent, and the rajoguna and tamoguna will reduce and eventually vanish. When we increase our frequency of our focus through mind and indriyas towards the beautiful form of the Lord, either at homes or at the temples, by attending or doing some pujas and prayers, our eyes get purified. As we keep doing this one, coming to the temple, then we start hearing more about Krishna and his glories. When we start hearing more about these things, and our hearing get purified, the ears get purified. When this person ears and eyes in the process of getting purified, after understanding the glories, then he shows some interest to do some services. Then start engaging his hands and legs in some services. By this way, the hands and legs, in fact his whole body, gets purified. Especially during that time when they take the food that is offered to Krishna, prasadam. It purifies the consciousness. When this is kept on repeated and the frequency increases, the sattva guna increases. The rajoguna and tamoguna will gradually run away. So for this, the very first thing we need to do is to focus and give more time in remembering, meditating, serving the beautiful form of the Lord. In this way, the mind and indriyas comes under control parallelly. Tāni sarvāṇi saṁyamya yukta āsīta mat-paraḥ vaśe yasyendriyāṇi tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. Namaste. Hare Krishna.